How's it going on, guys? Welcome back to another podcast. And today we're talking about the Malaysian Grand Prix. We're joined by Andy and Henry, who missed the last podcast. Say hi, guys.
Okay.
Hey guys.
Hey.
So, we could start with the last race at Malaysia. Thoughts of the race?
It was quite a good race, but unfortunate for qualifying.
Yeah, I think it was one of the best races of the season, really, apart from maybe Baku. But yeah.
Well, yeah, there were quite a bit of overtakes and also, a fast driver coming back through the field and also a battle for the
Finally,
win.
Max Verstappen doesn't have his bad luck.
Yeah, finally Verstappen ends his bad luck series. So, let's say that. Let's start with the qualifying. Maybe we could talk about the battle for pole between the three teams, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, all very close together.
Yeah,
it was surprisingly close, wasn't it? Really, shame for Ferrari.
Yeah, no one expected Red Bull.
To be honest, I wasn't really expecting Red Bull to be that close to the Mercedes and the Ferraris.
Yeah.
Same.
But still, I wasn't expecting that the Mercedes will be ahead because of their struggles in practice. To be honest.
Yeah, I think Ferrari were the quickest team, but I think Hamilton just got a really good lap together to beat Raikkonen, or maybe Raikkonen made some mistakes. But
I think it was a little bit of both. Like, this was the only lap Hamilton managed to put together the whole, qualifying session, and in the same time you saw Kimi locked up in the final corner. Also, the first sector wasn't particularly good, so I guess that's the reason why he didn't get pole. Otherwise, he would have been there.
Yeah, I think so. But I think if Vettel was in it, he probably would have got pole, really.
Yeah, he was looking really good in practice, especially practice too. 6/10 quicker than his teammate, so Ferrari were looking really good this weekend, and it was just unfortunate for them with all those problems.
Yeah, with the turbocharger.
Yeah, then we could talk about the race. The start, maybe there weren't the drivers were good behaved. There was no big collisions there.
Yeah, the start was quite exciting, to be honest.
And
we all knew
Kimi Raikkonen,
Max was gonna be aggressive.
Yeah, we were all expecting, the jokes after qualifying. Max saying, I don't wanna crash. And Kimi, I wanna pass 100 meters, something like that. It was so a bit banter between them.
He said, I don't wanna get sandwiched.
Yeah, but still, Kimi didn't even race more than Singapore. He didn't even start the race, so that was one of the potential contenders for the race win out of the race win before it was started. So
yeah, he qualified second, which is really good, half tenth of Hamilton.
I think if Kimi was in it, I think he probably would have won. If Verstappen could beat the Mercedes, I think he probably would have.
Yeah, the race pace of the Ferrari was really looking good, and I thought that if Kimi has a good start, he might be there.
Yeah.
But it was really, really unfortunate for him. I think it was the same issue as Vettel in qualifying. That's what I read.
Yeah, I read that as well. I think it's a part that Ferrari don't make. It's something that they buy. So, I think, did they have an engine upgrade for this race as well?
It was planned, and because of Vettel's problem, they used the new engine on his car.
The Suzuka Spec 1?
But it was supposed to be a Malaysia Spec 1, but they didn't plan to use it this weekend. But because of the problems for Vettel in FP3, they had to put it in his car. So Vettel was using it in qualifying in the race, and Raikkonen wasn't. So yeah,
it's strange that if they're using the same engine that they've been using all year, that they suddenly had the same problem. Whereas so far this year, it's been fairly good reliability from the Ferrari.
Yeah.
It was a little bit iffy at the start of the season, maybe, but then, yeah, it wasn't really causing big problems. But I think that this new engine is working because I don't know if you saw it, but the speed traps in the race, Vettel was quickest by like 8 kilometers per hour. So I think it is working. So
Yeah, although in the race he had DRS quite a lot of the time because he was overtaking cars. So that was part of it, I think.
yeah, it's true, but so did also a lot of other cars.
He was
so.
really aggressive with this first stint on soft tires.
Yeah, he made a really good first lap. He started 20th, and
Finished
at the end of the first lap he was already
13th
12th.
or
So
12th. I don't remember.
yeah. Then a few laps later, when Max Verstappen passed Lewis Hamilton, in my opinion at least, Hamilton could have defended a bit more aggressively. He left the door quite a bit open for Max, and Max took the opportunity and
Hamilton
left
didn't
Lewis
want
behind.
that.
So
Hamilton didn't want that.
it was a good move in my opinion.
Oh,
Yeah.
a really good overtake, I think.
Like Lewis tried to squeeze him, but he's in a championship battle and didn't really want to risk a potential podium for nothing. So
Yeah.
Wise from him.
Do you guys think that if he held up Verstappen do you think he would have been able to hold him up for the whole race if he'd tried and defended harder?
No. If he tried to hold up Verstappen, in my opinion, Red Bull would have gone for the undercut and still pass him. He just didn't have the pace compared to Verstappen.
Yeah.
Hamilton
Yeah, I
had
think so.
engine problems, I think.
He had D-rates at the start of the race.
Yeah.
Well, his teammate also didn't have the best of races.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bottas was really just terrible, wasn't he? Really.
He was nowhere the whole weekend. Nowhere.
But he's been like that for a while now, hasn't he? I think since maybe Hungary.
Belgium. Since Belgium. Hungary was okay. He was ahead of Hamilton, but since Belgium.
Yeah, since Belgium.
Since the summer break, he hasn't been. I mean, before, I think in the first half of the season, he was really inconsistent. Like, one half of the race would be good, one half of the race would be bad. But now he's just bad all the time,
Yeah,
really.
because he was really trying to impress the team to get a contract for next year.
As soon as he got the contract, he just dropped off.
Yeah.
Massively.
Yeah.
Because,
I don't know if that's coincidence or if he's just stopped trying.
Well, he basically signed a contract in Singapore and he started dropping off at Belgium, but I think it was already all agreed in the summer break, so he knew that he was gonna sign it, and
Yeah.
I think that influenced him in being not so on the pace.
Yeah. Do you guys think if he keeps going like this for the rest of the season? I mean, I know he's got a contract for next year, but they could still change it and maybe get someone to replace him, like Ocon or somebody. Because if he's like that next year, then if it's a tight championship like it is this year with Ferrari, then they could lose out by having a weak driver.
I don't think that they will particularly lose out because Ferrari also
Have Kimi.
haven't got the most consistent number 2 driver in the face of Raikkonen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Mercedes want to would prefer to have a situation like it was with Rosberg and Hamilton, where both the drivers battle for the championship. So at the moment, Bottas isn't really doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, if they get Ocon or maybe even Verline, they're young, they're hungry for success. I think they would give Lewis a challenge, in my opinion.
Bottas, I think he got demoted to second driver. So
Yeah, that's already clear in my opinion. Yeah, Bottas is a clear second driver already.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
he's not as motivated.
That could be it. Yeah.
He isn't getting the equal status for next season. I
Well,
don't know.
he may get it for the start of the season, but
Yeah, just like
I don't think that he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna do any better than this year. So I mean, it is possible if he doesn't perform very good and Mercedes start to lose points because of his poor performances, then it is possible because Ocon is getting, Ocon is getting quite a bit of luck. Not luck. I forgot the word. Experience. Ocon is getting quite a bit of experience in Force India. And
Yeah,
Verline doesn't have a seat also.
Yeah, I think they'll be looking at Ocon and Verline quite closely, see how they're doing. But Ocon had a crazy race in Malaysia, didn't he?
Yeah, he had really bad luck. He made a contact. It was really bad race from him, and he still managed to get points. So
Yeah.
fair, well done to him. So I guess now we could talk about maybe after the race what happened between Vettel and Stroll. A really bizarre moment.
Oh yeah. In my opinion, I think it was Stroll's fault, but then again, Stroll saw Grosjean coming from his inside, so he didn't see Vettel, I think, and he moved to the right, and they tangled. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there.
Whoa.
I'd say it was more Stroll's fault than Vettel's, but I don't think Stroll deserved a penalty or anything. It wasn't deliberate. It was just he didn't see him come, or he saw him in his mirrors but didn't realise he was passing him. It was just a racing. Well, they weren't racing, but it was just an incident.
Oh,
Similar
it
to
definitely
Singapore.
definitely wasn't deliberate because it's after the race and there's nothing going on there, like they're just picking up rubber. But Stroll definitely didn't see Vettel, and I don't know if you saw the Haas on board from behind. It really looked like Stroll was going straight into Vettel's side, but then again Sebastian wasn't quite on the outside, and yeah, I think it was more Stroll's fault, but it wasn't completely Stroll's fault.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, David Coulthard after the race, he said he blamed Vettel, but I can't really see how you could blame Vettel really, because
So
you see
many
them
influences.
passing each other on those laps all the time.
Yeah. And then Vettel getting a lift from Pascal Wehrlein, quite a good thing to see.
That
Although, if you remember back back to the 2013 Singapore Grand Prix, Webber and Alonso doing the same thing, and Webber got a 10 place grid penalty for that, for the next race.
I don't know
so-
why FIA don't allow it.
Well, it is quite dangerous because of the energy store and the whole power unit thing. You could potentially electrocute the driver who's sitting there, but thankfully it didn't happen. So
I think
it was all good.
when it happened with Webber and Alonso, I might be remembering this wrong, but I think Webber got the penalty because he saw Alonso and he slammed on the brakes really quick, and there was a car behind him that nearly hit him. I think that was it. So that was why he got penalty. But this time, Wehrlein was, there was no one around him. He just slowed down and let Vettel jump on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also another interesting thing from the race, and even before the race, the weekend to the race, there was big news from Toro Rosso that Pierre Gasly stepped in for Daniel Kvyat for unknown number of races, and he will do the Japanese Grand Prix too, but he might potentially miss the USA Grand Prix because of the final in the Japanese Super Formula, and then he might come back for the end of the season.
Kvyat's career is over.
I mean, if Kvyat does something to impress Toro Rosso in the US Grand Prix, I don't know, maybe he could revive it, or next year because Sainz is going to Renault.
Yeah, he's gonna
and
stay for next year, but his career is just going down the drain. He got demoted from Red Bull. Now he's not even competing in 2017 for a couple of races.
Every time when Kvyat gets demoted, Verstappen wins the race. That's an interesting fact.
Yeah, that's only 2 times.
Weird, isn't it?
But yeah, Gasly, thoughts on him? He was alright, I guess. He was close to Sainz in qualifying, and then in the race he was not too far behind him until Sainz retired. And he said after the race that he did the whole race without drinking, which in Malaysia is pretty damn hard, to be honest.
Yeah, he had problems with his water.
Would have been a hard race, but I watched him in GP2 last year, and he was, you could tell how talented he was there. But this race, to say he's never driven that car before, and he was only a tenth or two off Sainz in qualifying, that's a really, really good job.
Yeah,
And the thing about Suzuka next weekend, or this weekend, is that he knows the track from the Japanese Super Formula, so it's expected from him to be even better. And
maybe even point.
if Toro Rosso, gets the setup right this time, because in Malaysia they had big problems with the setup, and their balance was really not good. But if they get the setup right, and if their car might potentially suit the Sector 1 S section, they might even get a shot at the points. I don't know. It's possible, in my opinion.
Maybe. I mean, Sainz has had quite a few points this year, hasn't he? So I could see them getting it there.
Yeah, I would really hope both of them score points. It would be good for them, especially for Gasly. But talking about setups, Mercedes, another team which had big issues with their setups this race in practice. They were nowhere in practice.
Yeah,
And
Honda.
even Fernando Alonso was ahead of them. But there were talks in the paddock that the new aero package, that was the reason why they were struggling. And before FP3, Hamilton switched to the old aero package, and reportedly he was it was better with the old aero package, and Bottas wanted to do the same, but it was too late and he couldn't change it up, and maybe that's one of the reasons he struggled. But it seems like Mercedes are starting to drop off a little bit in the development race potentially.
Maybe. I mean, I think generally over the year they've had a faster car than the Ferrari, but it has been quite inconsistent, like in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And I think Russia, were they a bit off the pace as well? Maybe Monaco.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, it is the fastest car, but they do struggle with the setup a lot. They'll be working on that for next year, I think.
They've got a very narrow setup window.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be it.
But this track was a track that was, everyone expected Mercedes to dominate there, and they weren't even the second fastest car, I think, here. So that's, I think, positive for the sake of the championship until the end of the season. But in the same time, I don't think that Mercedes will struggle like that every race. Suzuka is another track where they're expected to be ahead of the field, so it will be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, I mean, is it 34 points now between Vettel and Hamilton? It's not too much. I think Vettel could fight back, but I think it'd take a few problems for Mercedes with the setup, or maybe reliability, or just bad luck or something.
Well, they do have quite a bit of engines used. They're on their fourth engine, and they're using it since Belgium. So I don't know. We could potentially see a penalty, because that's quite a bit of races. Even though they don't use this particular engine in free practice, and they're saving it up for quali and race, but still,
They do.
it's gonna have quite a lot of mileage at the end of the season, and that's where maybe the new Ferrari engine now is gonna come to play. But in the same time, though, this Ferrari new engine looks like isn't really the best at reliability. I mean, Vettel dropped back at the end of the race, because reportedly his engine was overheating and he was running out of fuel. So maybe it's a bit more thirsty engine. I don't know.
I think it was low on fuel because after he pitted onto the super softs, he was setting faster slap, faster slap, faster slap all the time, trying to catch Ricardo. So I think that, they don't normally do that in a race. I think that was just a one-off, really, because he was working it so hard that it ran out of fuel.
Well, I mean, we could hope for the sake of the championship that it's all okay with the Ferrari engine, but their bad luck really needs to change. Like, since in the last few races, their luck has really been dreadful.
Really bad, really. Yeah.
I mean, just for the sake of the championship, I'm not trying to be biased or anything, but I really want the championship to go down to the last race and not have it like the old Vettel era or 2015, like where Hamilton won 3 races to go.
Yeah, I think
so.
It's not just Ferrari stopping having bad luck; it would be Mercedes to have bad luck as well, for them to keep it going till Abu Dhabi.
And even if Mercedes don't have bad luck, if the pecking order is like Malaysia, the car performances, that will help Ferrari a lot if they stay like that, Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes. But that's a big if, because you never know what's gonna happen. Mercedes might do the right setup next time, so. But Red Bull are also gonna potentially get in the mix and be part of the title deciding factors,
Yeah, I think at Japan, Red Bull will be strong because you need a lot of downforce there, and maybe US Grand Prix as well. They might be fast.
Yeah.
Oh, Brazil, they'll be good at Brazil, I think.
And the US.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's all about the race at Malaysia. We could maybe talk about Japan now. Some thoughts on the race, the pecking order, maybe predictions.
Andy, do you want to go first?
For predictions for the race, we do again top 3 in quali and top 5 in the race.
I'm gonna go with pole position for Vettel. Second, Ricardo, and third, Hamilton. For the race, I'm predicting Vettel to win. Second, Ricardo. Third, Max. And fourth, Hamilton. Fifth, Raikkonen.
Interesting. Henry, you want to go or
Yeah,
you want to be last?
I'll go. I think qualifying, it'll be Vettel on pole with Verstappen second and Ricciardo third. I think in the race it'll be the same top 3: Vettel, Verstappen, Ricciardo, and then Raikkonen and Hamilton.
Alright, we're trying not to be biased here, but it's my turn now. So for quali, I think I'm also gonna go for Vettel, Hamilton, and Verstappen. In the race, I think Vettel will win, followed by Verstappen, Raikkonen, Hamilton, Ricardo.
Okay.
Yeah. If Vettel doesn't win, we're going to look really stupid.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying not to be biased here.
But
that's
a lot of
that's the rule
expectations
here.
for Ferrari to be good here, and it's Vettel's track as well.
Yeah, it's Vettel's favorite track. Plus, it's not only downforce. You need to also to have good engine, and Ferrari is the mix of the two. They have maybe as good as the Red Bull chassis and almost as good as Mercedes engine, and as a whole package at this circuit, it might potentially work out for them.
Agree.
Yep.
And also the using of the super soft tires, which Mercedes usually struggle on, the softer tires. So that's maybe another thing which gives Ferrari maybe advantage on the circuit.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's been all for this podcast. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, comment down below what your thoughts of it, share your predictions for the race, quality top 3 and race top 5. Follow us all on Twitter, links will be in the description down below. And we will see you guys next time. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.